Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tim Lee Michael, and welcome to another Draw Too Much sketch lesson, where today we're messing around with caricature, and we mess around with caricature all the time. That's what we teach here. But one of the things that I want to do now is I want to show you about how to take this picture that I've quickly drawn here of a gentleman that sent me his picture to my email, and you can send me your picture too if you want to drawmetim@gmail.com. And what we're going to do here is we're going to quickly color him in, and I'm going to do a couple little effects on him. This is a 5-minute tutorial. I'm going to try and knock it out in 5 minutes as quickly as I can. We'll see if we go over or not. It all depends on how quickly this goes down. So let me go ahead and start our timer here, and we're going to do one little quick technique to get us started, and then we'll have a little bit of fun. Alright, here we go. The timer starting in 3, 2, 1, go. What I want to do first here is I want to exaggerate his face a little bit more. I don't mean exaggerate by adjusting things or whatever. I think that he looks great. What I want to do, though, is I want to get more attention to his face. And I'm going to do that by grabbing my black G pen here and very quickly, with a single stroke as much as possible, I want to just quickly outline his face. Okay, you can see how thick his name is. I want to do the same thing to the outside of his face here really quick. I just want to hit his glasses here, take it up along the hair ridge, and take it up here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but the main thing is you're building up some extra shaping here in just drawing a single line here. It doesn't need to be perfect. It does help to get it as close as possible. And if you run over little details like this, just go ahead and repoke them back out through here. Okay. I think I went a little too thick on this line, but it still will get the point across here. Let's see what we got. Okay. So once you have that done, go ahead and zoom out. And believe it or not, that doesn't look too bad. You may want to put a little bit of detail in here and maybe not focus on the glasses with that, but it really helps the face pop out. Let's go ahead and start doing some color now. What I'm going to do is merge all these colors, all these layers together here real quick. So now everything should be a single layer except for my sketch layer. I'll go ahead and turn off my sketch layers in the background. Now that I've done this, now I can really start throwing in some artwork. I'm going to hit this button here, which is the reference layer. And now we go into quick stuff, and basically what we're going to do is guerrilla color the junk out of this. I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool. Let's go ahead and grab a skin tone, which is included with the Clip Studio Paint Pro, and we're going to go right in here and we're going to just begin quickly doctoring in color. And remember, this is for theme park style caricature, so it's supposed to be fun and quick. Your job is to get this done fast, okay? I'm going to show you a couple areas where you need to put a little bit of focus just to wake it up a little bit, but we'll get there when we get there, okay? I'm literally just filling in everything pretty much because it's just going to be quick fill. Now, something interesting that I did here that I didn't realize is that I drew, it looks like I drew my eyes on the same layer that I drew my sketch on. So there's a little bit of cleanup that I need to do here, and you make these mistakes. So just go over this as quickly as you can and just form out the eyes if you need to, and just do some quick cleanup. That'll be just fine. Okay, so we got that done. He's got a black shirt on, so I'm going to get a gray. I'm not going to use black, I'm going to use gray. I think that looks a little easier, and I'm just going to quickly fill in these areas with this gray instead of black, because there's already, whoops, I messed up. It's going to outline the whole thing. I got to wait for it to load. I'm going to undo that. Good. The reason why I use an off gray is because I really want the blacks that I've used to stand out, and the best way to do that is to use those grays instead. It's just going to really help kind of fill things out there. Okay, wonderful. So far so good. Let's go ahead now and work on the next part here. I feel good about this. Let's get some hair going on here. Now with the hair, we're going to have to quickly do this. So make your brush nice and big. And like I said, if you don't have keystrokes set up, you'll want to set them up as quickly as possible in your system so that you can make little changes on the fly. It's going to be very important. There we go. He's got some kind of brown hair up there, so let's go ahead and find a brown that will work, and immediately just go ahead and start getting these browns in here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, you're getting likeness and essence, so as long as it looks close to him, you're going to be okay. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to quickly just catch one into the other here. If I have time, I'll blur them together, but we'll see about that, okay? There we go, and that'll do just fine. Alright, we're doing great. I'm going to go ahead and grab my off gray. This is my special technique that I do. I've made a separate layer. I'm going to zoom into the eyes. We only have 1 minute and 14 seconds left. I don't think I'm going to get this done in 5 minutes, but we're going to see. We're going to quickly do the eyes in this gray like this. And this is my own personal technique that I've used over the years, and it really adds a lot to the caricature. And I'm going to do the teeth just like this as well. Now, when I get it all filled in, I'm immediately going to come here to this layer, and I'm going to lock its alpha. which means I'm just going to hit this little button right here, lock the alpha, and now I'm going to go grab my airbrush, and I'm going to select white. With the airbrush and white selected, I'm just going to do a couple very quick passes just over the eyes and over the teeth with that white, and you're going to see it just really wakes this up by a lot. Now, it looks like he has blue eyes. I really can't tell. We're going to assume he has blue eyes, so I'm going to make a new layer here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a fun blue. I want it to be pretty lively, and we're going to go ahead and very quickly just doctor in some blue. You don't need to put a lot of detail into this because, once again, theme park style caricature, and we've already put a little bit more detail into it than we have to already. There we go. So this is colored, but we need to do a little bit of shading and stuff, and we need to do something with a name. With 9 seconds left, we're obviously not going to get this tutorial finished in time, but I'm still going to try my best to go as quickly as I can, even though the time is about to run out. I want to go ahead and quickly grab my orange here. We're going to go ahead and fill in these letters as quickly as we can here. There we go. Because my eraser was not a hard eraser in the previous videos, you can go and see those. I have some odd leftovers, but just deal with it. Remember, these are quick theme park style caricatures. You're just going to knock them out. I'm going to come back here to my colors here. I'm going to use my paint selector here, and I'm going to grab this gray, and I'm just going to fill in the inside of that E there with that. There we go. I'm going to alpha lock the Melvin name. I'm going to grab some yellow here with an airbrush. I'm going to make the airbrush really big, and with just a couple passes over the top of the Melvin name, it should give it a nice little effect there, which is really, really cool. Something that just makes it pop a little bit, okay? Very cool. Now, let's go ahead and move on to a little bit more shading effect here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all the color layers that I've done so far, and I've drawn them all on one layer pretty much, except for the name. That's on a separate layer. I'm going to select just what's in this layer. So I'm going to go select from layer, create selection. Let me try that again. Selection from layer, create selection. Everything that I've colored here is going to suddenly become selected. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to make a mask, okay? And we can see that we got that mask in there now, okay? And if you're interested in any of these details, just ask in the comments. I'll do this as quick as I can to demonstrate that. I'm going to grab my airbrush with a dark red. I'm going to make my airbrush pretty large, and I'm just going to do a couple very quick passes on each side of this face here, just like this. Okay, and on the chin here, just like that. And then we're going to quickly do a couple other little things here in just a second. With this here, with this dark red, actually I think I went a little bit too dark, we can simply just go to this layer, and we're going to change it to multiply, and we're going to drop it down. I got a million tutorials on why you do this in multiply. It really helps us out. So I'm going to use a slightly lighter red. I didn't mean to go that dark red, so I got a slightly lighter red now, more of a deep magenta. Maroon, maybe more of a maroon. I'm going to add another layer over top here, and then this is where you're going to be a little detailed and focus, but work fast. So right here, everything's going to come down to how quickly you are able to do this. This is all about the shading technique, okay? So we're going to go make sure that our opacity is at 100% on this. This is important stuff, and we're going to go ahead and quickly just add in our areas of shadow. Now, it looks like a pure red here, but once we change it to multiply, it will change everything, and it'll look really, really cool. Focus your line work. Really try to get that quality of line work in these shadows, and just doctor them in really fast. You don't have to be overly precise, but try to get close as you can, okay? So like here on the bottom of the nose, that's going to be important. Over here as well. His laugh lines as they come out off the bottom. This one I need to zoom in a bit closer, and you can see we're upside down now, which is totally okay. I'm going to go ahead and just right here in the inside here, just add in some laugh line detail there. There we go, just like that. Okay, good. Looking for where the shadows are. Focus your time on those shadows, okay? Let's just go ahead and put some on the eyes here. Good, and then if we have the time, I would put some, maybe like right here, just to kind of give some definition along the side of the nose. Doesn't take much. All right, now let's go ahead and change this to multiply. You're going to see it's going to change all the colors underneath, and just drop the opacity down to maybe about 20% or less, you know. Just something so it kind of helps give detail, and all the shadows pop out there. It looks really good. He's got a very red face, so we're going to make another layer. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete this layer. I'm going to grab this layer with the mask on it, and I'm going to multiply it. So I'm going to make a new layer with this one. Right-click. Let's see if I have a duplicate layer. There we go. And now let's go ahead and erase what's inside here with our little erase button really quick. So all we have is the mask layer, which is great. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a pure red, like hot red, grab my airbrush, and we're going to airbrush in where the red is on him. He's got a lot of red around his eyes and then a lot of red around his cheeks, and we can do that really quick. Now it's going to look a little weird at first as we do this, but I have my, by the way, brush density is only set to 14 here, so it's just getting the little nitty gritty here. It's not being overly done here, just little details here. Okay, and like I said, I know it looks weird now, but you'll see in a second here how well this works out. So lots of red here along his cheeks, just like this. And because we're working in a mask layer, we don't have to worry about bleeding out on anything except for anything that's within that layer. Okay, so that looks really good like that. He's got a lot on his forehead here, and that could also be part of the picture as well. It could be the picture's fault, but still, there is an awful lot of red here, so we're going to add just a little bit in, because red does give a little bit of life to a face. His nose definitely has a little bit of red on it, and so what I do is I put it right on the tip here, like this, and maybe take it up there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my eraser. I want to make sure that it's got a fairly hard point to it. I'm going to erase just some fun little highlights out of these as well, okay, and just pinpoint highlight kind of stuff. And all you're doing is you're basically revealing the skin underneath, okay? Let's go ahead now and set this to multiply. It's already set to multiply. Let's drop it down. If I put it at 100%, that's what it would look like. Pretty freaky. But because we copied the layer that was already there, it calmed it down. So we can just chill this out just a little bit, just like that. And there we go. We have Melvin in all of his colored greatness in a finished video. Don't forget to sign your work and then give it to them with a great big smile on your face, because they're going to love it. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Sorry that one went a little too long. There's so much more we could do to this, but when it comes down to it, that is a theme park style caricature. Knock it out fast and call it a day. If you really wanted to do something a little extra just to kind of give it some extra pop, just grab your black pen, and with a very sharp, a very thick line, just draw a box like here, just like this. Kind of like that, or whatever. Do it wherever you want, and I'm going to do it on the same layer as my other ink layer here, like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just go ahead and fill in that background color with something. So we can make this a new layer if we wanted. We'll grab some blue to kind of match his eyes and just do it boom, boom, right there. And it will just kind of help give a little bit more life to the caricature. And that took no time at all to do just those little extra little details there. Let me try it again. Boop and boop. There we go. Well, thank you so much for watching. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time on another Draw Too Much sketch lesson. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and of course, if you hit subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notifications. And if you want to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Tim Lee Michael. Link is in the description below. And hit the like button. Like buttons are helpful. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I am so confused right now because I was rushing through this and so adrenaline high right now that, yeah, that's fun. I'm going to send this off to Melvin. Hope he enjoys it, and thank you so much for watching. If you want to email me your picture for me to use in future videos, you can do that at drawmetim@gmail.com. I'll see you guys next time. God bless you. Bye.